What's up, everybody? Welcome back to some more WWE Supercard. And yesterday I was planning on doing a video, but I didn't have the chance to do so because yesterday we were introduced to the new reward pregame for the Cena versus Rusev. And one thing that I was kind of disappointed that it wasn't an Extreme Rules theme, even though the main rewards are. Like, the rest of the rewards are like kind of random in a way. So before we get into that, we do have game 40. I am at game 40, which I am about 5 games away to the contenders bracket start. And basically later on today, I would have a King of the Ring reward. So let's see what I'm gonna get before this PCC starts. So let's check out my standing. You get to see I am 4th place. I pretty much wasn't playing much the first day I started King of the Ring. I've been playing much yesterday, and today I'm gonna plan on playing today. So enough of that. Let's get on with the reward review. So what I'm planning on doing is doing the comparison like I did with the other cards. What I'm gonna do is compare them with their single base card, when they're not even touched at level 0. So yeah, we're gonna do comparison on see how they compare against the other Road to Glory WrestleMania pros, and as well as for those people who have those PCC pros as well. So now let's check out. They still have the same format where it's top 200 will get a pro. So under Cena, we do have Eddie Guerrero, who is a great card to have because his speed, I do believe he is the best one at that in this tier. And then we have King Booker, who he doesn't happen to be the best speed in the game, but I do believe he is the best speed to have as a yellow up arrow. So yes, I don't know what was brought up. Maybe King Booker was brought up because of the King of the Ring, and Eddie Guerrero, I really don't know why. So then we do have Survivor Surfer Sting and Survivor Roddy Piper. So yes, a lot of people will probably much favor go for Sting because Roddy Piper, he's like an okay card, I guess. So this is what everybody's gonna try to aim for here, and me myself, I'm gonna try to aim something better, which I know these Survivor cards are not good at all, but let's see what I do. So of course we already seen this one, and for those who are still don't have any Survivor supports, right here's another kind of a good one, which is Power and Speed. And then of course the manager Lana, which is pretty much a good manager, but of course she is under Rusev, and I kind of don't see Rusev winning this one. I kind of see John Cena being victorious after this PCC, but who knows? Who knows what might happen? People might pick Rusev, and he might have a chance to win. So then of course, I wish I was still in Legendary because you have Dean Ambrose and Stone Cold Steve Austin, two of one of my favorite wrestlers are in the Legendary tier facing off against each other. And then we do have Dolph Ziggler against Ric Flair, and of course the American Dream Dusty Rhodes against Ravishing Rick Rude. I'm kind of forgetting their names now. It's been a while since I checked the cards. So now it is time for the comparison, people. What are we gonna do first is compare John Cena first with the other cards. So before we get onto that, let's review his card. It seems like he is gonna be great at power charisma, but not so great in toughness speed. So remember, he does get a proc on power and charisma. So we have already had I believe 2 cards already that get Pocket Power Charisma, and also they are so good. And one of them is Triple H the game. So we are gonna compare stats. As you can see here on power, John Cena is winning by 1. So meaning Triple H could still have a chance to beat him on power thanks to that proc. So yes, with 1 easily proc, Triple H could just beat him if John Cena doesn't successfully get a support or a proc. So on toughness he does get beaten by 7 points. So there is no way John Cena could beat him in toughness speed unless a support is called. And of course speed, Triple H beats him by 2. And then when we go with the charisma, John Cena beats him by 10. So I think John Cena could easily beat Triple H on power charisma, and John Cena could be easily the next most powerful guy for power and charisma. So enough of that. Let's get on with Daniel Bryan. Of course, he does get wrecked by John Cena on power. Not much on speed, just by 6 points. And of course, Daniel Bryan wrecks John Cena on speed and charisma. John Cena loses by 4, but he could pretty much easily beat him if he does get that proc. So then we're gonna go with Damien Mizdow, another guy that I forgot that he is that gets proc on power charisma, and it is so much better than Bret Hart. So we're gonna compare him. As you can see here, he does beat him on power, and I do believe Damien Mizdow still has a chance to beat him if he gets that proc. So there's many cards that get a proc on power and charisma. So of course toughness he is gonna beat him, and speed he is gonna beat him. So that's kind of a good thing that I don't need a support card to beat John Cena with Damien Mizdow. But of course I gotta watch out with power and charisma. He does get wrecked there. So then we're gonna go along with Bret Hart. Excuse me, there you go, Bret Hart, who is kind of the same as Mizdow. Like he has 9 over points advantage over Bret Hart. Toughness, he pretty much beats him, and speed, yes, he beats him as well. So that's another good thing, that Bret Hart doesn't need that proc on toughness speed to beat John Cena. But of course, one of his 2 best stats can beat Cena there. Yes, you see there, 9 points off power, 8 points off charisma. So now we're gonna get on with Brock Lesnar. So of course he does get beaten by Brock on power by just 1 point. And you guys can see here on toughness, he is off by 19 points. So Brock Lesnar could basically wreck him in power and toughness. Speed, wow, not much difference there, just by 2 points. And of course charisma, 20 points there. So yeah, I think if a power came up and John Cena could beat Brock Lesnar if he gets that proc. So now enough of that. We're gonna get on with Rusev. So we're still gonna continue on with the same. We're gonna go backwards this time. So you guys can see here, power, Brock does beat him by 10. On toughness, oh my gosh, I can't believe Rusev has better toughness than Brock. So that's kind of a good thing. Rusev could easily be the card that I'm looking for, because with Brock he is the next good power. With Rusev he is gonna be the next good toughness. And if I do have Daniel Bryan that's good at speed and charisma, and then I could have Triple H, who is a good tag team with Daniel Bryan. I guess the only tag team with Daniel Bryan. So with speed he does beat him by 10, and charisma, Brock Lesnar does beat on charisma. So there's that kind of a halfway chance. So now we're gonna compare with Bret Hart. They have same stats as power. Toughness he is beating them by, I believe, 15. Speed it looks like by 2, and charisma he is beating them by kind of a 4 point. So remember, Rusev does get a proc on toughness and speed. So his two best stat is power and toughness. So he is like kind of a Daniel Bryan card where you won't expect much on his speed unless he does get that proc. Then he could do some major damage, because I do believe he is the only guy that gets a proc on speed, and nobody else has that. So this is why another reason why I want this Rusev card, because he does get the proc on speed. He is going to be another good toughness, and also he is a yellow down arrow, which means he could be tag team with either Brock or Damien Mizdow. So talking about Damien Mizdow, let's bring him up in the thing so you guys can see they both have same power. Basically, Rusev wrecks anybody in toughness. In speed, he beats him by 4, but pretty much gets that proc and still get that victory. So in charisma, he is gonna get wrecked by Damien Mizdow. So now we're gonna go with Daniel Bryan. Of course, power and toughness, he is gonna get wrecked. But on the contrary, speed and charisma, he might beat him. Now, I think with Rusev getting proc on speed, he can't beat him. He can't beat Daniel Bryan. But it'll be interesting to see these two battle off in toughness and speed match, and both of them get the proc. Like, who do you think would win between Rusev and Cena? Rusev and Daniel Bryan in a toughness and speed match, and they both get the proc. Like, that'll be a very interesting matchup. So now we're gonna go on with the last in these, Triple H, who he does get wrecked by Triple H by 8 points in power. Toughness 18 points. Speed, of course, it is by 6 points. And charisma, that's a well-off 60 points there. So pretty much Rusev could beat him in toughness, speed, but not much in power, charisma. So that is the comparison review between all of them, and hope you guys got something that you guys could be already going head forward to seeing what's gonna be your next exhibition lineup, your next King of the Ring lineup, all that good stuff, to see if the comparison video is just a thing for you to know which card to choose between Cena or Rusev if you guys are going for the top 200. And for my comparison, I believe for those who do have the majorities of PCC Pros and Road to Glory, Rusev will hands down be the card that you want. Now, John Cena, what kind of disappoints me is that he is a right arrow, and I already have too much of that, and I don't need to get in that same trap where I'm stuck with lots of right arrows, just like Survivor. So that is gonna be kind of bummer if John Cena wins, but hopefully Rusev does take this because I need that down arrow. So what are we gonna do here first is gonna play some couple of exhibition matches. I hope you guys don't mind. And let's face off TC 503 DP. I remember facing this guy on one of my previous King of the Rings not too long ago. I believe either we faced off in the semifinals or we faced off in the finals, but I remember me beating him. I think he didn't. If it was in the finals, pretty much he threw it. But if it was in the semifinals, then yeah, it was pretty much a legit game because everybody trying to get to the finals just to get a WrestleMania card. And once they get to the finals, it doesn't matter because you are guaranteed one WrestleMania card at least. Because winning the champion only gets you one extra Survivor card. So an extra Survivor card is good, but not as helpful. So he is going to call in the Paul Heyman, and the only way I could win if I get that proc. And nope, I don't. So I'm pretty much going to lose this match thanks to that Paul Heyman. So now we're going to go with charisma. He did call in that Paul Heyman because he does get help on power charisma. Hopefully he doesn't call in a Daniel Bryan, or either my Daniel Bryan gets that proc. So he does call in Daniel Bryan, but it is not Road to Glory WrestleMania Pro Daniel Bryan. So I'm easily gonna win this one without no worry. And speed match, of course. Calling a speed match when I only have Brock Lesnar left. So I'm pretty much thinking he's gonna call his Daniel Bryan here. And yes, he did. He tricked me. So something I'm noticing is right when the Diva doesn't get called, like on the first game, they do call in the good cards. The second game, they don't. And for some reason, the third game, they save their best card as well. I'm starting to see that now. I'm starting to see that. So yes, he did get his revenge on exhibition now. But not in King of the Ring. So let's see who we're gonna face off next. Let's face off King Ray. He does look like he has lots of wins, lots of games played. And that's what I'm kind of looking for during this exhibition video. So it's going to be called the Speed and Charisma. Of course, I'm calling Blazy. And he has Eve, which there is no way Nikki Bella is going to beat her because she is a WrestleMania Pro Diva. So of course, we're going to take that loss there. So we're going to get toughness match, and Brock Lesnar sure does wreck here. So we pretty much could win this unless he calls in a stop sign support. Oh, there it is. I had to open my mouth. Oh my gosh. I had to open my mouth and say that, right? Oh my freaking gosh. Alright, so speed match, of course we're gonna win this one. Can't believe I had to say that. Oh my gosh. So we get a double loss in a row. I'm not gonna go out that way. So Pops, okay, he does have 57,000. Let's face this guy. Let's see what he has. Mainly I'm basing the top, the guys who have most of the games played, because I know for some reason they do have, all Road to Glory cards. So that makes it some kind of competitive, because the other people usually they either only have one or two, and what's the fun in that? We want to see good stuff here. So of course he doesn't have Road to Glory, Nikki Bella. Ugh, that's such a bummer for a guy who played, lots of games. Of course, Brie Bella is good at speed, but you're not gonna compete a Survivor Pro against a Road to Glory Survivor Pro. So for tag team power charisma, of course, we're gonna go with Bret Hart and Triple H, just because they both do get a proc in power charisma. So of course he's gonna call in a Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan. Doesn't matter. I thought this guy would have better cards than this, but I guess he didn't. I guess he's just in it to play the games. So for power and charisma, it'll be better much to call in. I would say Daniel Bryan. So wow, this guy doesn't have nothing. So that was quite an easy win there. So we're gonna pull in 2 cards, and should I finish this off on the board reset? Yes, why not, people? So before we get into that, my ladder rewards is about 52,864 games played, and last time I pulled the WrestleMania pool was on 52,650. So I believe I'm gonna get my next WrestleMania pool around 54,000 games played. 54,600 to be exact. But let's go back here and let's see what are my newest cards that I pulled during this during yesterday and today. As you guys can see here, Randy Orton was was one of my latest King of the Ring awards, and here it is, people. I forgot to show you this. Let's see if I'm correct. Yes. So last time I did pull the Jimmy Uso not too long ago, and he kind of made me happy because I kind of knew I already had an Uso as a card. But one thing I didn't notice was that what am I doing now? Oh yeah, WrestleMania. One thing I didn't notice that it was the other Uso. So yes, people, I still need to wait to get a Uso Pro. There's Jey Uso there, fully trained, and there is Jimmy Uso there, non-trained. So their image kind of not the image, but the name kind of made me think that I was getting a pro. But you know, I haven't looked much at the image. So yeah, by looking at the image, I was all like, oh my gosh, this ain't gonna be a pro. So we're gonna get on here and finish up the exhibition, try to get to a good board reset. So we're gonna fight up here Hayes, who has about 49,000 wins and 31,000 losses, I believe. So tag team toughness charisma. This is pretty much a risky tag team to call in, which is Triple H and Daniel Bryan. The reason I'm calling Daniel Bryan, even though Bret Hart has better stats, because Daniel Bryan does get that proc in there, and if he gets that proc, there is no way I could lose that match unless it is the same tag team, which is not. So I'm kind of happy. So look, they both get the proc. You guys can see there, Daniel Bryan alone gets 5,310 on tag team and charisma. Look at that. That's basically right there, people. That is basically. So of course, I'm still wondering when is this game gonna give me my WrestleMania Pro Diva. So I think the only way I could win this one if I do get a proc, right? Oh no, never mind. I could have pretty much easily won this without a proc. You know, didn't need that anyways. So we're gonna go with toughness, Brock Lesnar, of course. And while people are still having Road to Glory Survivor Pros. So you know, where are all the top people at? So there it is, people. There was my board reset. It had to be a toughness boost. Wow. Now I had seriously pulled a lot of toughness boosts yesterday. I remember I was up to 0 and now I'm already full. Wow, people. So you know, this is pretty much it of this video. Hope you guys enjoy the comparison between Cena Rusev and all the Road to Glory cards and PCC, of course. And you know, hope you guys enjoy the reward review and of course the exhibition game. So you know, of course, hope you guys had fun, and I'll see you guys in the next one.